Welcome to Real Estate Game Changers Radio, featuring real estate trendsetters and industry influencers, sharing tips and strategies to help home buyers and home sellers get the most out of their next real estate transaction. Now, here's your host, Suzanne Doyle-Ingram.
This is your host, Suzanne Doyle-Ingram, and welcome to Real Estate Game Changers Radio. We are so excited to have Pam Heinold on our show today. Pam is a best-selling author, and she is a Pensacola real estate expert advisor. She has the integrity, professionalism, and local knowledge and experience that you could ever want in a realtor. She's easygoing and she's professional, so she makes both sellers and buyers comfortable working with her as she helps them through the process of selling or buying a home or property. And Pam has more real estate education and training than you can shake a stick at. She is so knowledgeable, and this transfers to her clients in helping them make more informed and cost-effective real estate decisions. Welcome to the show, Pam.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you on the show. So let's start out right away with, I would like you to tell me how you got into the real estate business.
Well, this is kind of an interesting story. I won't bore you with a lot of the details.
No, I want to know everything.
Yeah. Well, I will go back just for a minute to when I was a little girl. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. My grandfather, my dad, my uncles, my other grandfather as well, just loved having their own businesses, and they all did at one time or another in their lifetimes. And so when I was growing up, I remember from the age of 4 or 5 years old, as I watched my dad with his business, I knew I wanted to have my own business when I grew up. So from a very young age, I was very business oriented. I loved marketing. I loved sales. I loved just the whole environment of being in business. I used to dream up what kind of business I was going to have when I grew up.
Oh, neat.
And as a little girl, you know, most little girls play with dolls and things like that. Mm-hmm. I had my dolls, but I really enjoyed playing with paper clips and pencils and calculators, and I used to play bank, you know, like I owned a bank, or like bank teller, that kind of thing. So I just, you know, or just I sold, you know, I would play that I was selling ice cream at an ice cream shop, or ladies' clothing at a clothing store, or anything. Mm-hmm. But so business goes back to when I was very young for me. As far as how I actually got into real estate, I had another business that I was doing, you know, back years ago, and I went to a networking group where I met with other business owners. And I met a man there who was in the real estate business. He was the business manager for a local company, and he mentioned to me that they were going to be hiring a buyer's agent soon. And that really intrigued me because I had always been interested in real estate. And so I said, well, tell me more about this. Maybe I'm interested. So he told me more about it. And as I thought about it more and talked to my husband and talked to my family about it, they just thought, wow, Pam, this is you. This is what you should be doing. This just fits you perfectly. So it came about that I got my license and went to work for this company, and that everything else is history. I've just loved it ever since I got into it.
Oh, that's great. And what was your business that you were doing? You said you owned a business before.
Yes, it was, at one point I did nutritional counseling for a while. I was very involved with natural health and nutrition, and I still am, but I did a lot of consulting back then. And then after that, when I actually went into real estate, I actually had a home fragrance products business.
Oh, neat.
Selling potpourris and candles and fragrance oils and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I ended up selling that business to go into real estate because I knew I could not do both and do them well.
Right,
so
right. Oh, that's great. Well, I think it really makes a difference when I've met so many real estate agents and brokers doing the shows and the books that I do, and I just think, the ones that have a strong business background are generally very successful because you've got to treat real estate like a business. It's not a hobby, it's a real business.
Absolutely. Most real estate agents across the country feel that and they do, they sell a home. They put a house on the market, they sell it, or they help a buyer buy a home, and that's all there is. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's not that way. It's not a transaction to transaction kind of job. It is a professional business. And I look at it long term. I look at it in the light of building relationships with my clients because I don't want to do business with them one time. Mm-hmm. I want to do business with them over and over again as they need me. I want them to call on me when their friends and family and their daughters and their sons and their grandchildren have real estate needs.
Right.
So I want to stay with them long term.
Yeah, and be their family realtor.
Yes, absolutely, the family realtor.
So what would you say that if I said, what do you love about your career in real estate, what would that be?
I really love working directly with my sellers and my buyers. Especially sellers. I tend to really shine when it comes to sellers because, or listing homes and putting them on the market. That is more my focus or my expertise because there's more involved there and more strategy involved in listing a home and putting it on the market and getting it sold. Mm-hmm. With buyers, I love working with buyers as well. It's just a different type of focus, a different way of working with them. They're looking to find a home, and that means going out, showing them various properties, maybe several times, maybe only once, but helping them find just the right home for their family and for their needs is really exciting for me. And I just love working directly with my clients, whether they're buyers or sellers.
Yeah, I can tell you're a real people person, and you also really want to help them. And I think that really comes from your heart.
It definitely does. Definitely. I just have such a satisfaction when I know that I've helped my clients reach their real estate dreams, and whatever that dream is for them, I want to help them get there.
Yes, so nice. So I mentioned when I introduced you that you're in Pensacola, and I'm on the other side, far, far away, the other side of North America. So tell me about Pensacola. I don't really know very much about it. I'd love to know, what it is that you love. What's great about your city?
Okay. Well, Pensacola is in the panhandle of Florida. We are on the Gulf Coast, and the beaches are very famous here because they're sugar white sands.
Nice.
The water is blue. It's sometimes it's more aqua blue, but it's just beautiful and clear. But the sugar white sands are what are very unique to our area because most beaches around the country are darker sands, or they have rocks. Out on the West Coast is more rocky.
Yes, that's for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful beaches. Also, the Navy Blue Angels are based here in Pensacola. The Blue Angels that fly all over, the country and give air shows.
Oh, neat.
And so that's kind of something that is unique that a lot of people would recognize. And then the historical things that are here in the Pensacola area are very, very interesting, especially if you're a history buff. Pensacola is considered a city of 5 flags. So it's a very old city. It's over 400 years old. We have been under 5 different nations. And there's a lot of history in Pensacola.
Oh, I bet the architecture is beautiful.
Yes, the architecture downtown, especially or you can visit the different forts, Fort Pickens, Fort Barrancas. We have a lighthouse here. There's a Navy base here, Pensacola NAS, which also has, that's where the lighthouse is. And Fort Barrancas is on the base there as well.
Oh my goodness, it sounds amazing. I want to come visit.
Yes, it's a wonderful place. Do come visit.
It's so interesting because I was just at the beach with my kids yesterday here on the West Coast, and you're right, it was all rocky and barnacles. You have to basically clear a path to get into the ocean.
Right.
It was still beautiful, but what I think of when you're saying, the sugar white sand, just you want to sink your feet into it and just, drink a Mai Tai on the beach and just be on holiday, even in your own city.
Yes, and in the summertime the waters are warm because we're in that Gulf Stream area with the water, and it warms up. It really becomes almost like bath water in the summertime.
Beautiful.
So,
wow. Well, so getting back to real estate, let's switch gears for a second here because I want to go back into getting a little more specific. So I find that there's so many realtors that do so many different things. If you had a specialty, if you had to name one, what would it be?
Well, I have become quite successful at helping mostly seniors, I think, in renovating their homes to get them ready for the market so that I can get it sold quickly and for top dollar.
Oh, that's very good. I guess sometimes if they've been living in their home for many years and they haven't done any upgrades or updating.
Yes.
No one wants to buy it.
That's right. That's right. So this seems to be an area that I've had great experience in. I seem to keep getting more of these types of home sellers, which is wonderful. Many times they move away and they just give me the house and say, do what you need to do, just get my home sold. And so I pretty much have free reign. They totally trust me with their home to get it updated how it needs to be. And I don't go overboard on that at all. I just get it updated to where it needs to be so that it's relevant for today's buyers and it'll be attractive and sell quickly and for a very good price for them. And they are thrilled when I'm done.
So the amount of money that they invest in the renovation is more than made up for when they sell, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. And I guess it would just be so overwhelming if you're elderly to know who to hire and everything. So if you take care of that for them, that's wonderful.
Yes, I take care of all of that for them. If they need a clean out, or an estate sale, I have done that as well. I don't do that all myself, but I have resources and help, people that specialize in those things that I hire to come in and do all of that work. Then I call in my contractors, my cleaners, my people that do whatever they're good at, and I get the job done. And then we go from there in getting the house on the market.
I bet you get a lot of referrals.
I do.
Yeah.
I very much do. I have a very good reputation when it comes to doing this kind of thing. I specialize in a couple of large neighborhoods in the area, although I do work anywhere in the area. But word travels fast, and I've had a very good reputation built up and referrals.
That's great.
Through the grapevine, yes.
Yeah. So you mentioned you sell the elderly people, the senior citizens. You can sell their home quickly if you update it. But let me just ask you, in general, if somebody came to you and said, "Pam, I need to sell my home quickly," what advice would you give them?
Well, number one, update it. Number two, stage it. And number three, price it right for the market. Very, very important.
And listen to your realtor about the pricing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And listen to your realtor regarding the updating of it or the staging it and that type of thing too.
Yeah.
Because
you know what's going to sell.
Very important.
Good. Okay. And you were talking about the top price too. So how do you help a homeowner get the maximum asking price for their home?
Well, I have an exclusive marketing plan for each home that I list. So it may be a little different for each of the homes that I list, but definitely getting it updated is very important if it needs it. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Definitely staging it, definitely using professional photography, and then pricing it right for the market. These are also, these are similar to what we just said for getting a home sold quickly, but it's pretty much the same for getting top dollar.
Yeah.
It's just really important to have your home looking, updated, clean, well staged. The photographs are very important for the marketing. And there's other things that I do too, again, depending on the home and what it may need for getting that top dollar. But that's my goal for every one of my homes that I list.
Yeah.
Is getting top dollar and getting it sold quickly if that's what the seller is wanting, and usually it is.
Yeah. It's funny because sometimes I'm shocked at pictures that I see on the MLS that I think, what are you doing? Like, it's like someone took it with their iPhone and there's no lights on in the house.
Yes, exactly.
It's so amazing.
Exactly. When photos do not show well online, and buyers do 95% of their shopping, 95% of home buyers shop online first before they ever call a realtor. But when they're shopping online and looking at those photos, if those photos do not show really well, they just pass them by and they'll go on to the next house and the next house.
So true.
Until they
just go
find,
click.
Yes. Yeah. Until they find a house that really shows well, that's going to catch their eye.
Yeah.
That's when they call me and say, Pam, I want to see that house.
Yeah, and that sure has been a huge change in the industry over the years, because my mom was a realtor for 25 years, and I remember someone would say to her, and we need a 3-bedroom house. And then name the city. And so she would get out the MLS book that was about 500 pages, and there was a new one every week, I think, black and white, and she would photocopy the pages, and then she would get them in her car, and she'd say, here's where we're going today. And they really only had 5 to choose from.
Yes. Wow.
Now they tell you what they want. Oh, Pam, we saw a house over on such and such drive, and we want to see it. It's amazing.
Yes.
There's the buyers are so much better informed now, I guess.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's switch gears again. I want to ask you, getting back into the business aspect of real estate, because I'm really intrigued with the fact that you had several other businesses that you did before becoming a realtor, which I think is very important. What are your guiding principles as a business person?
Okay. Number one is integrity. If people can't trust you, then you don't have a customer. So integrity and reputation and just having that moral substance that causes and allows people to trust you, that is really, really important to me. So integrity is number one. Number two is value. I offer a lot of value to my clients compared to other agents in my area who I may compete with.
Yeah.
Most agents just do the bare minimum, the standard thing, to put a home on the market or to work with a buyer. But I really try to go above and beyond what the standard typical realtor would do. And so the value that I offer is far and above what is the average. Service would be next, just offering professional, top-notch customer service. And people like service. They want service. They want your help. And that's very important to them, and so it's very important to me. Profitability is also important to me, because if I'm not profitable, then I can't give as much to my clients.
Right.
And again, that service, that value that I try to go above and beyond with depends on my profitability. So profitability is important to make my business run smoothly and to be able to offer the services that I do offer. And then also community. I do like to give back. from, the business that I bring in to the community, and I do donate to some various charities in the area. So that's very important to me too, and I feel that my clients feel that is important as well, and so that's important to me, and I do it.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the charities that you donate to?
I donate to the Women's Council of Realtors in the area, which helps other up-and-coming realtors. It helps their education, that type of thing, so that they can be a good help to their clients. Mm-hmm. I donate to my church, who also reaches out into the community and works with children, adults in various programs that they offer.
Great.
I have donated to the American Red Cross in the area.
Oh, good.
And of course, this area gets hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
So, and storms occasionally.
Yeah.
And so there's always a need for reaching out and helping people in the area get back on their feet, financially and, physically, with their homes, with their food, their clothing, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we also have a waterfront rescue mission here locally, which has been just a long time big help to the homeless in the area or those in need, and I donate to them as well.
Oh, that's great, Pam. Good for you. I don't know who said this quote initially, but I always think of this quote that says, "To whom much is given, much is expected." And I do think, when you're successful, you have a responsibility to give back, because it's like a cycle, and and it's so nice to be able to help others,
Yes, it sure is, definitely. Yeah. I feel very blessed with the business that God has given me, and I feel like just what you said, to whom much is given, much is required or expected. And so I do like to give back. Exactly.
Yeah. Good. So I have a funny thing that I always say to my clients when I'm chatting with them about their goals, and I talk about how every one of us has what I call $1 million gift inside of us, and it's something unique about us, and I believe it's what makes our clients want to choose us to work with us. So if you had to say, what do you suppose your $1 million gift is?
Wow.
Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, as far as my $1 million gift, as far as my business goes, I would say, number one, my personality, and I guess just who I am as a person. I think that people enjoy working with me. I'm easy to work with. I'm friendly.
Yeah.
I'm very...
And you're very nice.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so.
You are.
But I feel like I'm very easy to work with, and I feel like I make people feel comfortable working with me, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
The second thing is, though, I am also very confident and knowledgeable in what I do. And I feel like people trust me with that knowledge, and they want that knowledge. They want that expertise. I just know what I'm doing. I know that I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And I think that comes across to people when I talk with them. My results show for it. My track record proves that. So
yeah, I think
between,
that's
my track record and my personality in just working with people, I love people. I love to work with people.
Yeah.
So I think that comes across.
One thing that you haven't mentioned that comes to mind for me is that I think you just take care of people. And so you just basically leave it with me. I will take care of you. I will help you, whether they're buying or they're selling. I know what I'm doing. I am the best, and I will help you. And you've got their back.
Exactly.
For me, I know, and especially, when you're a business person, you're taking care of everyone else all the time. So it's nice for me when I get someone to take care of me.
Yes.
So I think that's what you do for sure.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
It matters a whole lot. I think the bottom line is that trust.
Yeah.
It matters a whole lot when people can trust you, and they do trust you, and they leave it with you.
Yeah.
If they don't trust you, then it is harder, because then you're constantly having to prove yourself at every step.
Yeah.
And it's not as smooth or enjoyable of a process for them.
Yeah.
And so it is a little harder that way. But that's why I really love it when my clients do trust me, because I do take care of them. I work harder than any other agent in town would, and my results show that.
Yeah, and would you say that, the name of the show is Real Estate Game Changers, so would you say that's what makes you a real estate game changer?
Yes, I do.
I think so too.
Yes, the value that I offer, the trust that I give, and the results that I show in my work would make me a game changer.
Mm-hmm. You are. So we've come to the end of our time here, Pam, and this has been a wonderful interview. Thank you so much for your time. And I was just hoping that you could tell us, how can people contact you if they'd like to chat with you further about helping sell their home or help them buy a home?
Well, I'll give you my phone number. It is 850-232-2332. My website is also available at pamheinold.com, and that's PamHeinold.com. My email address, if you'd rather email me, is Pam, P-A-M, at pamheinold.com.
Perfect. That's great. So people can connect with you and get a hold of you as they like. If they're looking for the best realtor in Pensacola, Florida, they should call you.
Absolutely. I'd love to talk with them.
Well, I have really loved talking with you today. Thank you so much for your time and being on the show and helping us help our listeners. And I really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, Pam.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. You have a great day, too. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
This has been another episode of Real Estate Game Changers Radio with your host, Suzanne Doyle-Ingram. To hear all episodes featuring our hand-picked real estate game changers, visit us online at www.realestategamechangersradio.com.